Man, worst loss of the season, Laker Nation. Vogel got out coached. It was terrible with rotations this game, and then not getting AD and Bron sets to get them inside in better positioning. You can see LBJ tell Coach Vogel during the game, we have no spacing. Also worst lack of hard passion I've seen from AD and LBJ, particularly AD, man. Well, I'm gonna get in on the brother plays soft as fuck this game versus the Rockets. Letting PJ Tucker, Covington outboard him, out hustle him, out there fronting him. And not, him not demanding the ball on the inside and beasting him down low. He just got manhandled in the fucking post, man. AD got to grow a fucking pair. Grow a pair, bruh. And man the fuck up. You got punked straight up. Catching the ball far away from the basket the entire fucking game versus 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guys when you 6'10", bruh. Make no damn sense. Why the hell you settling for J's? Stop being a damn punk. And then LBJ's ass, too. I'm not letting you off the hook. Letting Eric Gordon at 6'2" defend you on the perimeter, bro. On the fucking perimeter. Your ass should be in the post. Get the ball, pass the ball coming up court. Have everybody clear out on the side that you posting up on and go to work. No fucking way Eric Gordon should be getting away with guarding you, bro. No fucking way. You settle for Jays. Same thing with AD. Both of y'all bitched out. Y'all too great to be playing like bitches, man. Come on now. And then Vogel not playing Dion Waiters barely at all. When the Lakers, were stagnant offensively and could have used the scoring to kind of help them, get out of that dry spell. And then J.R. Smith shooting because Danny Green's ass is gonna keep bricking. KCP was missing wide open shots, taking dumbass shots as well. Had me pissed off going back to my old days, cursing him out like I used to on the channel. And then not playing Caruso more. Make no damn sense when he was playing good. In the second quarter, I think he had like 7 points. Kind of gave the Lakers a lift. Vogel has the ability, man, to not utilize great players and good players on his team. I don't understand, Laker fan, why the fuck he fucks with the rotations at all. And why he doesn't play players that he should play. Man, this whole game had me irritated. I'm sure you guys are frustrated as well. This whole game, of course, is not on one player. It's on the team as a whole. And, of course, it starts with the superstar / all-stars of the team and LBJ and AD and especially Coach Vogel's ass. Blame the L on them. On them the most. But I'm going to get into this game quarter by quarter and break it down. Lakers in the first quarter to start the game, I think they went on to a 7-0 run. And then after that, they just didn't play good offensively. They weren't being patient with post-entry passes. They had 2 turnovers, which resulted in points for the Rockets. Overall, this game, Lakers were very sloppy with the ball. The Lakers cannot force passes in the inside. They have to be patient and improve the angle, and that was one of my key aspects of this game because I already know the Lakers, just like the first meeting, I believe, they did the same shit they did the first game. They're duplicating that at home by forcing post-entry passes, not getting proper positioning, things of that nature, and the spacing was atrocious. But Harden, man, the bullshit call for Harden these games, the bullshit calls that he got, and that bullshit call that he got when AD blocked him in the first quarter. I hate watching James Harden, man, because of that shit. The refs reward him for this type of bullshit. Good offensive player, no doubt. One of the best offensive players probably in the NBA history, no doubt. I got to give respect to him. I'm not going, I'm not gonna not show respect towards a very good or great player in Harden. That's what he is. But to have to result to these type of bullshit antics with the flopping, it's hella annoying to watch a player like that. It really is, and it's hard to like the dude, but it is what it is. The problem is the refs fucking rewarding him for that bullshit. He goes to that, to those antics because he expects to get the call, and that's the issue there. That's the root issue. But Harden with 12 points at the 3+ minute mark, Rockets 20, Lakers 16 at that point in time with the deficit, and then Lakers weren't taking advantage of their size in the inside the entire fucking game. AD was not on the block, nor LBJ as much, which to me, played into the Rockets' plan, and then the pace. The pace was terrible. Lakers jacking up 3-point shots, things of that nature. AD and Bron have to, command their positioning and their presence in the post and not be perimeter oriented versus the Rockets. They have the size. Use that shit. Then Harden cooking Danny Green. Danny Green's defense was ass on him. Green acting like as if he couldn't, was afraid to touch him or something like that. Granted, like I said, refs give him those bullshit calls, but you got to play him, bruh. You got to play him and let him know that he can't get to the lane easily. So you can't allow him to get to the key with ease. And then the Lakers are over helping on Harden and not collapsing on the shooters, because the Rockets are they're a 3-ball team. They're a high octane offensive 3-ball team. That's what they live on, and they're gonna die on it eventually. Especially if the Lakers play the way they're supposed to play and defend the way they're supposed to play, or to defend at a high level. Guarantee y'all, man. The Rockets they're gonna live by the theory and they're gonna die by it. When the Lakers fucking wake up and get their head out of their asses, this is gonna be a different series, man. So I'm not tripping, but obviously I'm pissed. I'm pissed with the Lakers' lack of heart, lack of energy. They just fucking came out flat completely, man. I didn't think AD and LeBron James were aggressive enough to start anyway. And they weren't aggressive the entire game. I think they had LBJ or whatever had 20 points. That's not enough. Harden had 36, for them. And then AD with 25 points, that's also not enough. One of the players have to get around 30, man, or more. Especially when the bench didn't come through as much. But LBJ with 7 points, AD with 4 points, man, to end the first quarter. Harden, the leading scorer after the first quarter with 12 points. Rockets up 1 going into the second quarter, 29-28. The key reason why the Rockets were up after the first quarter was the Lakers' turnovers, which was the theme of this game. Rockets had 10 points off the Lakers' turnovers, and I think 27 overall in this game. But then second quarter, Caruso having an impact for the Lakers off the bench with 7 points to begin in the second quarter after the Rockets hit 2 threes to start. Caruso decreases the deficit with a left corner 3 at the 9+ minute mark to bring the Lakers within 2, 36-34. And then LBJ, a facial dunk on Westbrook from the bounce pass for Caruso at the 8+ minute mark. Once again, I did not understand why Caruso did not play more. And that's what's going to obviously make the Caruso stands go off on Rondo, because 25 minutes for Rondo, I think 18 or something like that, 17 minutes for Caruso when he's been effective. Probably, I would say, obviously, the most effective player other than, in terms of his energy at least, I would say definitely the most effective player this game. Didn't get more minutes. He should have got in the mid-20s. And for Vogel not to to put him in was just horrific. It was a poor coaching decision by Frank Vogel. And so, of course, the Caruso stands and the people that cannot stand Rondo, they're going to fucking blame him for the entire loss, which we already know he wasn't especially if you're looking at this shit objectively, he wasn't the main issue for the loss. He wasn't. It was the team as a whole. And like I said, primarily the leaders, which is LBJ and AD, and then, of course, Frank Vogel as the head coach. The whole team fucking played flat. So, it's the whole team as a whole, but definitely the 3 leaders of the team, like I said, LBJ, AD, and Frank Vogel. But getting back to the second, Rondo ties it up with the transition layup, 52-52. Good to see Rondo back, in my opinion. He's going to get flamed. It is what it is. I know he lacks issues with spacing and shooting, but once again, he's going to bring some good elements, man. I believe he can be, but he played stupid this game. He was trying to force things, but that's because he's out of rhythm. But I already know fans are going to get in on him. They're going to criticize every mistake, and they're not going to castigate Caruso with his dumbass passing and decision making at times when he threw that stupid ass lob directly to when he intended it for AD in the third quarter or something like that, and they intercepted it. He just threw it straight in the air. No point guard skills whatsoever. Good cutter, good defender, good energy. Rondo's a good point guard. He provides that. Both, like I said, and I keep mentioning on social media, on Twitter, and on here, both serve purposes to the Lakers, whether people want to see that shit or not. Alex Caruso brings what Rondo doesn't bring, which is energy and defense and cutting. Rondo brings point guard savviness, veteran leadership, and he has a connection with AD from New Orleans days. But, people are not going to acknowledge that. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, AD, like I said, was playing soft down low, letting smaller players front him with ease. The Lakers, I thought, did a poor job. Not, moving the ball side to side, getting AD better positioning, and then having AD repost for a better angle so that AD could, clear out and then go to work. You can't allow smaller players to front him like that. I thought 2 bigs, man, in my opinion, on the on the floor at the same time. A lot of times this game, JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard were clogging the lane, like LBJ said to Frank Vogel during this game. There wasn't good spacing, and I agree. But that falls solely on LeBron James not also being in the post, AD not being in the post, and then playing inside out. As well as, of course, playing two bigs at the same time. Rajon Rondo definitely is an issue in terms of floor spacing. Even if he did hit his shots, but he is an issue with overpassing as well, things of that nature. So, and the team as a whole, man, not knocking down shots. It's not just him, once again. We can't gloss over that objectively, man. And fans got to stop with the bullshit, wishing Rondo was injured and being petty like that, man. Never wish bad things on a player or a person in general, man, because karma's going to come to bite you in the ass. That's just not right, man, straight up. And I had to call some people out for that type of shit on social media, and they know who they are. They listen to this podcast. But, Harden again, man, getting bullshit calls as usual, but he led his team with 25 points going into the second half with the lead for the Rockets, 55-63. Lakers have all that size for nothing, man. Didn't capitalize on it all game. Rockets also hit open shots due to the Lakers overhelping on James Harden, as Green continued to get roasted by Harden, along with Kyle Kuzma on him as well. I thought they did a poor job forcing him into the middle, but the Lakers, again, were late to rotate on shooters. And, of course, the Rockets were hitting their shots. I think they shot, 40+% from three. So it is what it is. The Lakers got to do a better job defending the three-point line, chasing them off the three-point line to take perimeter or mid-range jump shots. But Lakers, had no answer for James Harden, considering his teammates were hitting shots. And the Laker role players like Danny Green, of course, weren't hitting. They weren't hitting. So that's going to change shit up for the Lakers if they're not hitting. The floor spacing is going to be atrocious as it was this game. And then, of course, that's going to change things for James Harden. When you had Danny Green on him or Kuzma and you have to play solo and stay home with the shooters, it's going to allow James Harden to get to the key. And, of course, players are going to act like they can't touch him because they're afraid of the whistle. But you got to fucking play through that, man. You got to play through that. The Lakers did a poor job overall, like I said, defensively on Harden and then defensively on the shooters. Second half, third quarter, LBJ, nice block, man, erases Westbrook's dunk attempt, then takes it coast to coast for the N1 finish on Covington. Nice sequence by LBJ. That's where the Lakers have to play, man. They have to attack quicker. If the Rockets are going to be collapsing onto AD or LBJ in the post, they have to get stops and get transition buckets. That's going to open things up, of course, for the shooters as well. Eventually, when they start knocking down shots and when LBJ and fucking AD grow a pair and command the ball in the post and go to work. Until then, this is going to be the same shit. So the Lakers have to get stops, and they didn't do a good job getting stops. They were poor defensively as well, not just offensively, but they were shitty defensively, letting things get to them. Complaining to the refs, even if they were giving Harden bullshit calls, things of that nature. You still got to play through it, man. But AD hasn't had real impact on this game and lacked the assertiveness overall for the Lakers, hurting the Lakers, letting the Rocket players, the smaller players, push him out on the post. Man, it was embarrassing to see AD catch the ball near the free throw line with 6'5", 6'6", 6'4" players on him. Just fucking embarrassing, man. He played soft majority of this game, the entire game. It's a damn shame to have all that size and not use it, man. That was the frustrating part about this aspect is the Lakers beat themselves. They beat themselves, mostly. I credit the Rockets, man, but the Lakers beat themselves, and they played the Rockets game. How fucking stupid do you have to be to play the game of the opponent when you know what they want to do with jack up threes and get out on the offensive end? Slow it down, play in the half court, and beat them up in the inside, and do not turn over the ball. Keep it simple, stupid. Man, but... Bron keeping the Lakers afloat a little bit in this game in the third quarter with his continued good play. Finished the third quarter with 20 points. And I believe that's where he finished the game off. He didn't have any points, I believe, in the fourth quarter. You can't have the best player in the team not scoring in the fourth quarter, man, at all. Lakers not looking good offensively, stagnant. They could have used Dion Waiters like I mentioned earlier. And they could have used Caruso more with his defensive energy. The spacing was very poor once again. Lakers playing the Rockets pace, like I said, jacking up threes, not getting to, getting to the key, beating them down low on the inside as they should have. The Lakers were very fortunate at that time in the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, to only be down by 6, 85-79, and in the fourth quarter, Rondo starts off with a 3-point shot on the Dwight Howard screen. Then Gordon hits a 3 to nullify Rondo's made 3-point shot. Rockets with more energy, more heart, more grit. Go up 15 to 15 points at that point in time in the game. 97-82 on a Westbrook 3-point shot over AD, and Westbrook's letting them know about it, man. You can't let players do that and punk you like that. So Harden talking that shit, shots fired. Hey, he spoke the truth. It is what it is. But if I'm an AD and if I'm LeBron James, man, after seeing that shit, I'm hanging that shit up. And I'm telling the fellas, hey, we gotta take this shit personal, man. We ain't gonna let them talk shit and get away with it. Next time Harden comes to the key, knock his ass down on the pavement. Knock him down. Let him fucking feel that shit, because you can't be saying things like that and get punked. And he's speaking facts, at least after game 1. So they gotta have Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee take a hard ass foul. We're gonna have to play this old school, play hard nosed basketball, physical, get in their heads, and beat them up on the inside, man, and defend them like they defend us, pesky, with energy, with heart. So that's what the Lakers have to do. They had more energy, man. The Rockets had more energy, more grit. Like I said, Bron had 0 points in the fourth quarter. AD played soft. So did LeBron James, not getting in the inside and settling mostly for perimeter Jays. The Lakers didn't rebound the ball. They didn't defend. Their bench was ass. Other than Caruso was solid. I think he had 18, 17 points. So he should have played more. The starting lineup was ass. They deserved to lose this game. Like I said, I think Caruso was probably by far the most effective player energy-wise earlier on. It's a damn shame I didn't see a fucking minute later of Caruso or more in the fourth quarter or late third. Just a terrible, terrible coaching decision by Frank Vogel in terms of the rotations to not play Caruso more minutes, man. Rondo got overplayed with his first game back after his injury, a broken hand or whatever he had, and then back spasms. 22, I think, or 25 minutes. Of course, Laker fans, like I mentioned earlier, in the Caruso stands are going to blame this loss on Rajon Rondo, but it was a team as a whole. Laker Nation, not one guy. AD was soft as fuck tonight, settled for Jays, didn't get rebounds, and got out hustled by smaller players like PJ Tucker, Robert Covington, etc. Worst fucking effort and lack of heart I've seen all year by the Lakers. This is why I got to pump the brakes on peeps saying the Lakers are going to win a championship for sure after acquiring AD via trade and in the regular season play. We can't go off a regular season. We got to see how things come to fruition in the playoffs. I need to see that mental toughness. The Lakers aren't showing that killer instinct. They're not imposing their will on games. It seems like they need to be slapped in the fucking face to wake the fuck up. Losing versus the Rockets is in this way is bad to me. It's not like the Portland Trailblazers, who lack nuance, lack higher defensive capability, or lack defensive capabilities. The Rockets can play defense a little bit, definitely better than the Portland Trailblazers all around. The Rockets are a wild card to win the chip, man. They're one of those teams that could be put out early or could win a championship. So you can't fuck with them. You can't fuck with them like you could fuck with Portland. But Vogel has no coaching schemes on the offensive end whatsoever, man. The floor spacing was terrible. Brown outside of the post is a fucking disaster. Him, full-time point guard, is playing into the hands of the Rockets, man. I'm telling you. LBJ, he can't be effective as a player for the Lakers if he's going to go full-time point guard and be out on the outside. It won't work. It just won't work. He needs to get his ass inside the paint and go to work. Same with AD. He can't play like a bitch, bro. You got to get mean and dominant in the inside. Shit like this is why AD is a bad man and can't be a number one option on the championship team. He don't got that it factor, man. He doesn't have the it factor at all. I don't see that from him. Great player, but lacks that mental makeup. Fuck, man. This is the most pissed I've ever been, Laker fan. But just letting off steam. You guys can let off steam in the comment section. I talked to fans earlier. A lot of us are pissed because we're expecting different effort. We're expecting effort different from this. And, we want to win it for Mamba. We want to do it for Gigi, man. So it's frustrating to come out after winning 4-1 like this. So will the real Lakers show up? We'll see. but they got to regroup and play with more heart, more energy, and play to their advantages. Harden was asked after the game about the Lakers' size and the Rockets being undersized, and he said, quote, "If you don't have heart, it doesn't matter." Shots fired at AD primarily, man. Primarily in LeBron James and the Lakers overall, but primarily at AD. Can't have that shit, like I said, man. Y'all better wake the fuck up and make Harden eat his words next game. Like I said onward earlier, when he's flopping, when his flopping ass comes to the key, have Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee give him a hard foul, send him on his ass to the pavement to let him know y'all ain't gonna tolerate that shit. He's right though. The Lakers played with no heart and they got beat. They had 17 turnovers. Rockets had 27 points off of those turnovers, and that was the result of the L right there, man. No commanding presence for the Lakers in the inside. Harden had 36 points, willed his team to a victory over the Lakers, along with the Rockets, energy to start this game. They just wanted it more. The break appeared, the break for the Lakers appeared to be a disadvantage. People were talking about the Rockets being tired, having to go 6 games or whatever, to beat the team that they played against, the OKC Thunder, or was it 6 or 7 games, I believe, 7 games, whatever. The point is, they were coming off of an emotional win, of course, but the point is they were fresh. The Lakers are resting, and so far, the rest with the Lakers is not a good thing because they get complacent. So much for that. So much for the lack of rest for the Rockets, because they came in looking like they were rested and like they wanted it more. But the Lakers didn't. They didn't beat up on them in the inside. Like I said, that's the issue. The Rockets out-rebounded the Lakers. They out-rebounded the Lakers, man. 37-1. 37-1. A smaller team showed much more heart and grit than the Lakers. Than the fucking Lakers, man. Come on. Who has the size? And the Rockets also beat them in points in the paint. 42-40. I can't believe this shit, man. The Lakers got beat in both categories that they should have beat the Rockets in the game. Fucking embarrassing on their behalf. Man, Laker fan, letting off some steam. We all got to breathe. Woosah, man. But, this is the most pissed I've ever been because I feel like they beat themselves. And we know what they're capable of. They gotta get punched in the face apparently to wake up. It seems like that. I believe they'll come out next game and win, and we'll play better overall. On Sunday, I believe Sunday it is. They cannot allow the Rockets to get away with defending them the way they are. AD, Bron, and LeBron James have to impose their will. They have to impose their will next game. And the Lakers' perimeter defense has to be better. You also can't have Eric Gordon, man, easily penetrating to the key. He's usually a shooter, but Gordon looked like he took the role of Russell Westbrook. The second scoring option for the Rockets. And the Lakers did a poor job defensively on him, along with closing out on shooters. They could do better, Laker fam. We know what they're capable of when they pull their heads out of their asses. So they need to, there's no need to panic, Laker Nation. We can be pissed, it is what it is. But still, more games to the series. They better bring the heart, the energy, the grit, and start being physical in game 2 and throughout the series. Otherwise, the Rockets will have this confidence and they'll be able to beat them. Not a team to be messing with and the Rockets. Lakers just have to play patient. They have to have better floor spacing. LBJ needs to be way less on the perimeter and post up Eric Gordon. AD and LeBron James overall, when they were successful attacking the cup, they were quicker. They also need to do that, man. They need to do that, attack quicker, and then they also need to defend at the level they're capable of. Lakers could turn it around in game 2, tie the series, have the momentum. Get it done, Lakers. All right, Laker fam, it's a wrap. Tough loss, but still more games to go in the series and an opportunity for the Lake Show to turn it around in game 2. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. I'm Tony in the Lake Show, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.